Hey YouTube, this is Gamer Core. We are coming back with another video on Airline Empires. Today I'm going to show you how to create a route and possibly a few other things. But before we get started, I'm just going to show you just a few things that I did complete off the camera. Most of it was in the options area. You can see here we got reputation. Obviously, we don't have any ratings because I don't have any routes yet or the route size network. I'm not part of an alliance. I have already requested one. You can go to the branding. So I uploaded my logo, the China Southern logo, and its livery. Added its slogan and a small airline description. Otherwise, I really didn't do a whole lot with other things. Right now, I'm going to set the top four marketing schemes to 1%. And I'm going to save the settings so that we spend a little bit of money per month with marketing, and hopefully we can get more passengers that way, and hopefully beat out some of our rivals. Here under human resources, we can see that our payroll and what we're going to do. I'm going to change all of this to 10% because I really don't want to pay for a shitload of people. That's just how it's going to be. So let's go ahead and save that. Because we haven't hired anybody because of the fact that we haven't done any routes yet. You can do share control, so if you want to share an airline with somebody else, you can do that as well. Or you can file for bankruptcy, cease operations, and be done with the game if you'd like. That happens quite a bit throughout the course of the game. And you'll see a lot of aircraft go to the buy used aircraft tab, which is right here. As far as an alliance goes, you can join here. China Southern is actually part of the Sky Team alliance, so that's the one that I requested. In this one, Sky Team is actually one of the largest ones, followed by One Air, One Air World. So these are the ones that you can choose to join. Obviously, some of these, not most, some of these are realistic ones like Sky Team, One World, Star Alliance, things like that. They're all real alliances out there that airlines do fly with and connect with other airlines with. You can see how many daily passengers they have already started to configure. They have 28 memberships with 86 destinations around the world as of right now. And if you click on them, you can see where they are all flying to. So you can see there's a focus obviously on the US, there's a focus on Europe, and then we actually have the Indonesian. So like Malaysia, Singapore, things like that area where obviously there's a pretty big focus. And like I said, looking at this team, the Middle East would probably be a pretty good area to probably start an alliance, or even South America, maybe Rio or might be a good option for here. This here you can kind of see where people are looking at. However, obviously you don't know that when you've gotten this far into the game. You don't know what people are really doing. So obviously in this network, One World, everybody's pretty much in Europe. So that will expand. There's only one small person over here in Malaysia, Indonesia area. And then the third biggest one, which is Star Alliance. Let's just see where they've got routes to. See, they've only got a few as well. But they're the third largest alliance out there right now. Anyway, so what we're going to do to basically start a route is I'm going to browse by airports for gates. I like this option much better than open a new route or my route map. Obviously, there's nothing. We're going to be over here in China. So we're just going to go browse airports. So the nice thing is if you look here, our city is already there. So we don't really have to do much. As far as the distance, I believe it was like 2,500 miles. So we're just going to go 2,400 miles, and we're just going to do a list of all airports from this destination. The top is going to be the most expensive, and it's going to go on down. I don't want to pay a ton of money right off the bat, but what I want to focus on is other countries. So let's go down to about the 150,000 range, and we're going to focus on maybe on like Japan. And I don't want to do anything less than 660 miles right now because that's going to be my ATR that I want to fly, and that's probably going to be a lot more regional as far as in China. I could be wrong, but that's kind of what we're looking at. So we got a $169,000 uh, gate lease that we just rented. It's I don't even know how to pronounce it, so I'm not even going to try, but it's in Japan. So we're going to add flight. We're going to show our aircraft that we have available. And we are going to let's do it roughly 21 times back and forth and see what that gets us. Maybe. Come on now, load up. Don't take too long. Jeez, and I even have a good internet connection. So with this one route, we're making about $116,000 per day. So we have 2 gates. We're paying, if you look over there, we have 5 gates leased. Okay, at that per gate. So we're paying almost $2 million per month in this one gate. And then in this gate, we're paying basically 170. So in order for us to make profit from this route to here, we're not making very much money as of right now. And as you can see, we're actually doing fairly well, but I want to save some of these gates because I can only own 10 in this. However, when I get bigger, I can change this aircraft to a different, to a bigger aircraft, and then that will allow me to basically put more passengers to that route with using less slots. So I only get 10 gates per international flight. Like I said, I have never done the China-based one before, so maybe I can buy into Japan and not have to worry about it and build a terminal there. I don't know. I've never done it. But typically in the U.S., going to even Canada, you can only own 10 gates in that country. So we'll see how that goes. So now we're going to go back to, let's just use the back button here. Oops, got document expired. So we're going to do the browse airports again. Go back to the PPG. And we're going to go to, see, like this one, we don't want to do that one because that one's only 532 miles. This one and this one can all go, and this one can only use the ATR to get back and forth. So I don't want to use that. But I'm not going to use the ATR for this high of a price point anyway, just because I'm going to use the ATR for less crowded routes. So let's get our aircraft going here, and then we'll just do the last 7 to there and see what that does for us. All right, so we're making $72,000 per day, so that's actually not bad. That's actually a lot better than they were before, I guess. So actually, so let's go back to the routes here, and I might change that other one from 21 down to just 7 because I don't want to take or use that much money. So we're going to go ahead and go to our flight list, and let's get rid of a few of these and only leave 7 available. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's perfect. So we're going to close these flights. If it decides to do it here for us. Boy, that takes a long time sometimes. So market research. So we're only making $38,000 per day on this route. It's really not that good. But we'll save that. So basically, our first, how I look at it is, okay, we're making $45,000 per day. So that basically takes 4 days to pay for this one gate. And I always look at the gate we're flying to because this is considered my hub in Shanghai. So I don't really pay too much attention to that, but that's how I play. Like I said, you only get 10 gates per available, so you get 500 slots, and that's really about it. So I'm just going to go down the line here and just keep on leasing the gate and I'm going to put 7 flights on each one and hopefully make some decent money with this and kind of go from there. Let's see how much money we make. So we're making 40,000, and then when we add in our food categories for our IFS, or in-flight services, so we make 40 to 46. So we're making $6,000 per time. So that, like I said, that takes about 4 days to basically pay that one off as well. We'll go back and do the next one. We'll do Vietnam, because that's outside the country. I can grow as much as I want inside China, so I want to basically take advantage of everything that I have now outside of the country, because later in the game I won't have access to change that. So that makes 45, probably about 50,000. Close enough to 50,000. So that really only takes 3 days now to pay for this one thing. Also, you can see here that the gates available there's only 28 available. So if I own 10 of those 28, that means only 18 other people or 18 other gates can be owned. So a potential of 18 other people using that gate. So I want to try to buy that as much as possible. That's the entire goal. The thing I don't like about this game is if you start getting big and you get big fast, you want to buy those gates. And if you don't use them, you lose them. So each gate is 50 slots. So like I don't lose the 45 slots that I have available here. That doesn't happen. You lose the gates. So like say if I wanted to be like, oh, you know what, I'm going to be an asshole and I want to buy all 10 gates right now so that nobody else can buy anything more, and I guaranteed my 10 gates. If I don't use 9 of those gates, so if that's 500 slots, if I don't use all those slots down to that so that's under the last 50, if you guys understand me correctly, then I lose them. So if I bought 10 right now, the next month that comes around, so February of 1990, I would lose 9 gates, and I would have paid, that times 9, so like $1.1 million worth. I would just lose that money if I don't use them. I don't like that because that's part of the strategy to the game. I wish that they would incorporate that somehow. And I've actually in the past have talked to the owner of this, and I understand his point. But again, this is a strategy game. It's all based on how you want to do that. So you shouldn't limit the possibilities of owning those 10 gates, if that makes any sense to you guys. And that was the argument that I had with him, and he didn't quite see it the same way that I saw it. I understood his point, and I get that, but it's a strategy game. You should be allowed to do it however you want to do it, and that's kind of what my point was to him. But whatever. I'm not the owner of it, so I can't change it. Just how it is. So now if we click back on the home area, we can look at and see what other aircraft or other companies are doing. We got Jet Airways. I must have somehow clicked on my own. Well, that's kind of weird. That's not supposed to do that. Let's click on China National. See, that should be a different company. I don't know why Jet Airways is being linked to mine, but okie dokie then. Obviously, there's a glitch in the game right there. We can see Gulf Air. BAH should be Bahrain, I believe. Yep. So, right in here. Oh, sorry. Nope, right down here. So we can look at our details and we can see what we got going. You can see my utilization here. I've only got 1 aircraft. I have 4 on order, 3 ATRs, and another 737. Obviously, I would like to buy another one, but I can't because of cash-based um, goes. However, if you wanted to, I could take a loan out or a bond, um, and you could do this. Basically, what this does is this just affects your credit rating for the time being. So you do have to be careful. You are allowed a certain number of bonds, but you have to be really careful because then you could only lease so many aircraft at a time. And that basically hampers you later in the game if you try to grow too fast. With my credit rating, I believe that I can order, what is it? Here, I'll just click on an Airbus here. See, I'm allowed 70 leases based on my credit rating. So the more bonds or loans that you take out, the worse your credit rating gets, and this drops this number down. So at some point, you could potentially be losing some money because of the fact that you can't grow your fleet. So in this case, if I wanted to, I could order another 737 using a bond, and that way I have it ordered. But I'm not going to get my other one for a month. So it's going to take a little while before I get my next 737. But I just want to make sure that I order another one before that month expires. So that way I don't have to wait a whole another month to get a 737 again. I want to order it before that month happens, and then that way I get it. In order for you to know how that works, you can click on the view pending deliveries here, and you can see what day they're expected. Also keep in mind that each month only goes until the 24th of every month. After the 24th, it automatically goes to the 1st, so it's not a full month. It's not a month that you would think that it's going to be. So just keep that in mind when you're ordering aircraft. And also when you see the 23rd pop in and you go, oh, well, my next aircraft comes on the 1st, I got 7 days or whatever the case may be. You don't. You have 1 day to order that next aircraft and go from there. So from here, so say if this was the 24th, I would actually only have 5 more days until February 5th. Hopefully I explained that good enough so you guys understood that. But for some reason, it's based on 24 days in a month. Not sure why he configured it that way, but that's how it is. So my first aircraft that I'll get will be January 15th and the 22nd, and then I get 2 more on the 5th of February. So I need to make sure that I order more ATRs and another 737 at that time. Another little tip and trick that I can show you guys for now, which I can't actually show you, but right here it says Boeing Classic for the 737. When we get to the 600 range, it actually goes into a different category. I believe it's the 600, 700, and 800, 900 go into a different category. So I can actually order the Classics and the other 737s at the same time until they are done. So like, here, the 737-400 is only made until 1998. So that's good now until, for another 8 years, where the 500 series is good until 2001. So I can order that one and I could order a ton of these. So say I wanted to order 100 of the 400 series here, I could do that, and then I could still order the new ones. See with the 747-100 series here, it takes, I can order this one, but then I can't order, say, the M in order to do that. Also be very careful when you're ordering some of these because you might think, oh, this is a good price on this one for my lease payment because it's saving me $400,000 per month. It has the same whatever. It doesn't go very far. It only goes 1,700 miles. That's not very far at all. What this aircraft is, what I would use this aircraft for is the big, really close terminals. Like if you're in the US and you want to go, say, from New York to Atlanta, those are 2 pretty big destinations in the US. You could buy that aircraft to use it for that, and then you're going to get a ton of seats. So then therefore you're going to use less slots, as I was trying to say before, you only get 50 slots per one gate. It's taking me 7 trips to not even fill up any part of it. Or if I put 7 trips with this bad boy, this 747 400D, the domestic version of the 747, I could get a lot more people to where I need using a lot of slots. So it all depends on how you want to look at it. Because also, with my 737, which is right above it here, I get 149 and I'm paying 500,000. Triple that pretty much, or even quadruple it to $2 million. And this times 4 would be 540, 520, ish. 150 times 4 would be, well, that's 600 basically. So you would pretty much get 60 free seats, and then you would save on slots so that you can use them for other areas. So it all kind of depends on what your strategy is going to be. Obviously, it takes a while to build up to that point, but that's just how it is sometimes. Also tells you the difference between leasing and purchasing aircraft. Obviously, purchasing at the beginning of a game is a lot harder just because it costs so much money, because the aircraft now is yours and you never pay a leasing fee for it any time. So when you get bigger, you eventually want to buy your aircraft out. And how that would do that is you have expiring aircraft, which when you go into home, there'll be a list of them here, and then you can actually click them all and then buy them. Or the ones that aren't doing very good and losing you money, it tells you the same thing, and you can go down the line. But that will be a future episode that I can make for you guys so you guys can see how that all works. Unfortunately, there's not really much more I can do at the present time because of the fact that the game doesn't start until tomorrow. But as soon as I'm able to make more videos, I will make more for you guys, and hopefully you guys enjoy them. But I'm going to cut it off here because there's not really much more I can go into without showing you. I can explain things, but that's not really any fun because you're just listening to me talk at a screen. So I'm going to end it right here, right now for you guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. Please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. It's greatly appreciated, and it would help me out a lot. Also, please share my videos. And this is my new channel. This is where I'm going to be from now on. Until next time, YouTube, you guys stay gaming.